Okay, I forgot on my last lighting test to try these, I said I was going to do it, then I forgot, diffusion panels over this light. And what I did in this light here, I put two 100-watt incandescents in it. And this one over here, I still have just a 75-watt, and I put the diffusion panel in front of it here. See if that lights up here. And we're going to see what that does. With just one 100-watt bulb in here, I wasn't getting enough lumens using a screen in front of it. So we're going to try that diffusion panel with two 100-watt bulbs. Okay, here I've got the camera set on ISO 1600. And let's turn on our trusty meter here. I'm getting about 542 lux in that direction, 260 in this direction as my fill. And let's see what kind of, I'm going to snap my fingers and we'll correct the white balance in the editor. Okay, right there. We'll see if that looks any better. I had the ISO, not the ISO, but the white balance set at 2700 Kelvin, and that's what these incandescents are. Really a yellow bulb, but you know, we got a little bit of shadow over here. I still got a fairly harsh shadow if I cover it with my, you can see my hand's pretty bright. That light's about 4 foot away. It allows me, see if there's any kind of shadow on the background you can see moving. You know, I can, if I want a little less, let me just try running that fill light in a little bit. Now I've got the fill light about 3 feet away, but remember it's only got a 75-watt bulb, whereas this one has two 100-watt bulbs. And it looks like I might be overexposing on my face just a little bit. Tell you what, let me go and reduce that down to 1000 ISO and see if that helps. Well, that didn't work at all. I went up, I got up, went to change the ISO on the camera, and I must have hit the, when I flipped the screen back so I could change my ISO, I must have changed the focus point. And it was totally blurry, the next segment. I didn't realize that. But I made two mistakes. I realized I had left the room lights on. So what I'm going to do is go up and change, turn off those lights. They do add a little bit of lumens to the total setup here. And they probably look okay. Those are LED track lights. 2700K color temperature, the same as these incandescents. But let me go flip the switch and I'll come back here. Hopefully it'll track my eyeballs here instead of on something else. Okay, did you notice that the background got just a little bit darker? We lost a few lumens there, but now I'm just concentrating on the two lights. I think it's tracking my face. I can see a little square. That camera's about 7 feet away, and I can barely see where the focus is tracking. I don't know why it messed up. Sometimes they do that. But yeah, two mistakes. Bad focus, having the room lights on. So anyway, we'll try this again. I don't think a color balance will change. I'll go ahead and flip. And we'll do a color balance in the editor. But I wanted to see how this setup did. You know, I had such big response to my last video. I gotta get a little chuckle out of it. I only got like 11 views out of it. It's just something totally ridiculous. I'm not so happy with how YouTube's getting the videos out there. And granted, my videos are so diverse, one video won't be the same as the other, so YouTube really doesn't know who to send my videos to. I can have 300 views on a lens review to like last video on video lights, 11 views. I've got videos with 4 views. Family, have you seen my video? No, I haven't seen. Well, they probably haven't subscribed. So really, if you want to see my videos, you really have to subscribe and like them. And so you can search my channel. Of course, you can search without subscribing, but there's no reason not to subscribe. Gets my views out there. I've only got like 59 subscribers. But if you want to see content like this, where I'm doing the experimenting instead of you having to set all this up and buy parts and lights and things like that. And some of these experiments and reviews have been done to death 5 or 10 years ago. It's kind of interesting to go back and watch some of them. Some of them have, 37,000 views on something similar. It just doesn't look like videos like this from a small time creator like me are getting any views. And I'm not the most charismatic talker. I realize that. Talking is not my thing. But it's a little disappointing how it's going, but it gives me something to do. Experiment with different lighting. I am waiting for a bracket today for my fill light. I don't have the capability of tilting it. I have this little bracket on this other light where I can tilt it wherever I want to. I didn't have another one. I must have got rid of it. I know I had two 30 years ago when I got these light stands and stuff, but I must have got rid of one of them, so I had to buy. I got another pair coming so I can actually rotate the light. So I kind of stuck with the angle that it's at. But I think just with these plastic diffusers, now they're going to get real hot. I don't know if they'll start smoking on me, but they're really probably meant for 500 watt blue bulbs, which are really putting out the power. I'm only running 200 watts in this one right now. I think this will probably be a pretty good simple light setup. Just a 12-inch parabolic. That was kind of the standard light 50 years ago. And they do work with these diffusers. You don't really want to use a diffuser with them though, but they're perfectly adequate. You could stick in, I had on the other video, and I'll try to link it below in the description so you can go back to it if you haven't subscribed and go to my channel, whatever. I was trying the grow lights in there. We had some LED, fairly high power grow lights we use on the plants in the wintertime. And that's a good option too. And you can use a diffuser panel with those. I don't want to just switch them out right now because these lights are going to be way too hot to do that. Maybe I'll let these cool down and we'll just slip them in there. I think we will. Okay, so I switched out to the LED grow lamps, and it looks a little yellower instead of red, maybe a little bit of green tinge. I only set my camera up for daylight, which is what these were. Oh, I need to change. Again, I made a mistake. Let me cut down the room lights. I forgot all about that. Okay, now I didn't change my camera settings. I'm still in ISO 1000. Let's see what the lux is. It's a little hotter, 645 and 308. So these lights are a little bit more powerful than I was thinking. They're rated at 1325 lumens, and that's about, I was thinking a 100 watt bulb with 1600 lumens. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's only 1100 lumens. But so these are putting out more than actually the two 100 watt bulbs. I don't know, does that look a little harsher? So maybe the exposure is up just a little bit here. But let's see the color balance. And I'll do and see if that changes. This gives you the option, keep the room cool, less electricity used. That's not going to be a thing no more than you're using the lights. And these last a long time. Of course, those 100-watt incandescents are going to last forever too. But I don't even know if you can buy them anywhere. I don't know how many I have. I might only have a half a dozen. Well, probably not even that. I've probably got 3 or 4 of them. I'm saving a couple of them for my garage light. They don't recommend LEDs in those because of the radio interference messes with it, but this might be totally doable. It's got the diffusion panels in front of those 12-inch parabolics, so it's as simple as it can get. Okay, I decided to get a little more creative here. I got those brackets in this afternoon, and so I decided I can take one of these lights and put it up behind me and use it as a kind of an accent light. So maybe it's a little bit bright coming down from there. And I got my main light. I think what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to move that one back just a little bit to give it a little bit less. But I think it makes perhaps my face pop off the background a little bit more. Okay, for this shot, I moved that background or the hair light. I don't have any hair, but I moved that light further back towards the corner of the room. I moved a reflector in on my left side. Then my key light, I moved in a little closer. And we're going to try the white balance thing here. I went ahead and used the white balance in the camera. So what I did is took a picture of this here and used that to set my custom white balance. And we're going to see what the editor does. I can see a little hot spot right in this area there. But I think that kind of gives it an extra dimension there. Maybe I could use a scrim or something, or I could even try bouncing that light off and see how that works. You know, one thing I didn't mention, these are less lumen lights, these grow lights, but they're a projector light where really that 12-inch parabolic reflector isn't doing anything. It's all built into that light. So the light coming out of these diffusion panels on these parabolic reflectors, it's not spreading the light out. So it's fairly harsh light. And we might try one more thing with that light back there. Okay, what I did this time, I put that scrim in front of that light and I moved the reflector back. And so I got the key light over here, but I'm diffusing it with that scrim. And I'll show you here what that looks like after this session. I think this gives it a little bit different flavor when you move the lights around. You have more than, you know, accent the backlight there and just use like a reflector as a fill. And we can play with that some more too. I'm kind of using that artboard now to reduce the light coming in from that window because it was getting a little strong there. And this is the light setup I've got. The main light over there, and then the scrim kind of diffusing that hair light. Then I was sitting down there. But see if you like that pattern. I think that really improves it.